Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Shen Plays. Today we're going for the Kinslayer achievement. You have to start as Yaroslavl, Ryazan, Odoyev, or Tver, and be the last remaining Rurikovich nation. I choose Tver because of their border with Novgorod. They're also independent, unlike Yaroslavl. Bordering Novgorod means you get a pretty good early game war. You know that Muscovy's going to fight Novgorod. So we set our rival. Our only choice is Novgorod. How convenient. I set myself threatened to Muscovy and then friendly to pretty much everyone else in the area. Might as well be friendly to people who could come to our aid potentially against Muscovy in the future. Now, we're not required to kill Muscovy, but the only other way to get this achievement is if Muscovy loses their Rurikovich dynasty, and that's just not very likely. We also start with a 100 knyaz with no baby. So I start off by getting marriages with all the other Rurikovich nations, Odoyev, Ryazan, and Muscovy. That way we have no chance of losing our dynasty. And don't be surprised if Muscovy is hostile at the start of the game. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Take a mission to placate Muscovy. Pretty easy to do since he didn't start out hostile this time. And this is, I believe, my 5th or 6th attempt at this. We just spent, several hours one day getting this achievement. I think it was worth doing. Just restart until we get the right start off and then we're good to go. Now, since we set Novgorod as a rival, I sent our spy over to build a network over there. We can only fabricate on one province, but we might as well have a claim. If you have a claim on a province, you reduce the autonomy by 10 when you conquer it. It's very useful. Now, as you can see, Muscovy is moving troops near Novgorod's border, so I quickly queue up 3 more soldiers. We only have 6 out of our force limit of 9, so I queued up another cavalry and 2 more infantry. Hey, we had a baby! Good times. Constantine's not a good name. We need a better name. We need Kinslayer. That's right. Oh, man. Knyaz Boris, he's got grand ambitions for his son, Kinslayer. Looks like Muscovy is about to declare his war on Novgorod, which means I have a diplomat ready to go, and there's the war. So we declare on the same day. Now, the reason why we waited to declare war until Muscovy declared is because Muscovy will typically warn you at the start of the game. And to avoid getting Muscovy joining a war against you, just wait for him to declare the war on Novgorod first. Then declare your war. He's already at war with them, so he can't join against you. The warning is useless at that point. And our whole plan for this war is not to fight Novgorod's army. We're going to run like hell from Novgorod's army. We're going to get military access through Muscovy, and then we're going to run our troops, just little single stacks all over the place, and siege as much of Novgorod as possible so that Muscovy doesn't get the sieges. If Muscovy doesn't siege anything, then he can't take anything. And I do not want Muscovy to get any stronger. This first war is as much a defense against Muscovy growing as it is an opportunity for us to grow. In the peace deal here, I am purposefully avoiding the province of Neva. The reason to avoid Neva, at least early game, is because Denmark wants it. Denmark always wants that province. So don't take Neva if you're just starting out. You can take it and you might get lucky and maybe Denmark will leave you alone. But if Denmark decides that he wants that province and you took it, there's really no way you can defend at this point. It's too early to really get an alliance with anyone. We are working towards an alliance with Poland, though. So here we get 2 provinces in the state of Novgorod, 1 province in the state of Belo-Ozero, 1 province in the state of Ladoga, 1 province in the state of Estonia, and 1 province in the state of Pskov. It's a very fractured area, but it does make our name look nice on the map. And here we are, almost ready to get a marriage and an alliance with Poland. Almost there. And what happens? Muscovy decides to use Threaten War. I have never had the AI use Threaten War on me before. But since we have no ally yet, Muscovy feels confident that he can win this Threaten War. And as soon as we get the green check marks for marriage and alliance, Muscovy puts in his demand for Threaten War. Boy, is he in for a surprise. Oh my goodness. All we need to do is get our opinion of Poland up just a little bit. We'll do that with some military access, no problem. So long as that threatened war window stays up for another 30 days, we're good to go. I don't think Muscovy realizes that we're about to get an alliance with Poland, Lithuania, and Moldavia, and Mazovia, and they're all going to march in and crush his face. He's going to be so surprised, and I couldn't have a bigger shit-eating grin on my face right now. Our alliance with Poland is secure, and now surely Poland will join a defensive call to arms against Muscovy, right? Muscovy, who Poland has set as a rival. And the war has begun. Here comes Poland. Oh boy, Muscovy had no idea he was in for this. And this is the first peace deal that we can get with Muscovy. We're going to take his capital, his entire capital state, Moskva, Vladimir, and Yaroslavl. Unfortunately, despite being a defensive war, Poland is not happy unless we give him a province. He has the red thumbs down on the peace window, so we're forced to give him Kaluga if we want to keep our alliance. And that's perfectly fine with me. We don't need Kaluga for anything. Even if we want to form Russia at some point, you don't need Kaluga, so it's not a big deal. Oh boy, do we look nice now that we have the entire state of Moskva. So during peacetime, the next few years are spent handling rebels, really. Making sure we keep the Novgorod and Muscovite separatists down. We get a couple claims on Livonian Order, and he really doesn't have any allies that can help him. So we figure now's a good time to go finish up the state of Estonia. Ingermanland counts as Estonia, and the other two provinces are Narva and Reval. So we'll take those two in this war. And the nice thing about Livonian Order is he starts the game just about small enough to vassalize. So here we are in 1467, and we've just made Livonian Order our vassal. Fantastic. Next war, 1473, is to take Neva and also to vassalize Novgorod. Now, I had no idea this was going to happen, but during this war, Muscovy declares on Novgorod, so we have a second opportunity for a defensive call to arms to bring in Poland. And I am just so hilariously surprised and another shit-eating grin. How can you expect to have two awesome defensive call to arms in the same campaign? This early in the campaign, too. I have no idea. It's just luck. Super duper luck. So we get Novgorod as our vassal. And since Muscovy has already declared the war, we are called in as a defensive leader of the war against Muscovy. And we're allowed to call in all of our allies. Well, I mean, it's just Poland, Lithuania, but it's still a good alliance to call in. 1474, the Second War with Muscovy. Now, in this case, I'd like to finish up some states that we have started. The Novgorod state can be finished if we take Ryazan. The Pskov state can be finished if we take the entirety of Pskov. And the Belo-Ozero state can be finished if we take Vologda, Behetsk, and Belo-Ozero. So that's going to be our peace deal plan. Thankfully, in this call to arms, Poland does not want any land. Also, we secure an alliance with Denmark, and he's called into the war on our side too. Because why not? Why not add Denmark and Norway to the fray? Sweden's not in here because he's disloyal at the moment. The whole point of taking Denmark as an ally is so he won't want Neva. Now, since we just took Novgorod as our vassal, we might as well feed him some clay. But we're not going to give it to him directly, at least not much of it. What I would like to do, along with finishing up some states for myself, is take provinces and then grant them to Novgorod. If I grant them to Novgorod, then his liberty desire will go down slightly. If I give him the provinces directly in the peace deal, then his liberty desire will not go down. So take it for myself, grant it to him after the war. Okay, we're going to grant Novgorod the province of Kem and also Karela. So 1480, we're looking like a pretty darn good state. Moskva has roughly the same land that we do, but we've cut him in half, and we have vassals, and we have really good alliances. Muscovy has nothing. Now, at some point, I didn't even realize this happened. At some point, the Golden Horde lost Ryazan as his vassal. He had Ryazan as his vassal since pretty much the start of the game. He converted Ryazan to Sunni, but he lost it at some point. He must have lost a war and was forced to release the vassal. So we're just going to go in there and take out Ryazan real quick. Just a quick peace deal there. Go ahead and annex Ryazan. No harm, no foul. He did convert Tula to Sunni, so that's going to be a troublesome province to convert, but not the end of the world. And now we're actually looking at our first offensive war against Muscovy. 1494, Muscovy is only allied to Riga. And we're looking to take the state of Suzdal, which involves Kostroma, Suzdal, and Murom, and also finish feeding Novgorod his core provinces. Riga, we decided we're going to give to Livonian Order. He can take it. And after a fairly quick war, 1496 shows us fairly strong in this area. We took over an entire new state with 40-something development. It's a really nice state. And Novgorod has all of his cores back. Well, all of his cores that I don't own. So we should be good to start annexing Novgorod when he can get relations up to 190. We don't really need him as a vassal anymore. He's served his purpose. And Livonian Order has Riga, so we can annex him if we want to. But yeah, we are almost done with this achievement in 1496. And I guess it's important to note that we don't actually have to be the ones who conquer Muscovy. If any of the hordes take him out, or if Poland takes him out, that's fine too. We just have to be the last remaining Rurikovich nation. So either he loses his dynasty and we get the achievement, or he gets destroyed and we get the achievement. But we don't have to be the ones who destroy him. And 1505, Sweden has declared independence, and we have sided with Sweden in this war. We were supporting his independence after we rivaled Denmark. The alliance with Denmark was just a temporary thing. I do want to have Sweden as my ally instead of Denmark. And even if we don't keep Sweden as our ally, by siding with him for independence, we can weaken not only Denmark but also Sweden. So if we are looking to expand into Scandinavia, having these nations separated is more beneficial than having them united. Now this war for Swedish independence lasts for quite a while, and we do participate a lot in the war. We deplete our manpower entirely, and once we've helped Sweden secure victory, we just pull our armies back and let him take over the war. The year is 1511. We have put Kinslayer Rurikovich in lead of our main army, headed for the Muscovite troops of Galich. The truce is up, and the time is right to end this Muscovite threat to the world. So here goes Kinslayer, fighting Pyotr Osterman Tolstoy, but it doesn't matter. Kinslayer win. Muscovy shall fall today. Unfortunately, he costs a little more than 100 points to annex, so we're not going to be able to take him out in this war. But pretty darn close, pretty darn close. He won't have much left after this war. And June 1513, we take out Muscovy's last remaining forts, which means he's left with almost nothing. I'm debating releasing the state of Perm. Doing this will make it easier to siege Muscovy in the next war. However, it does mean we don't get a border with the Ural Mountains right away. I kind of wanted to have a border with the Ural Mountains just to make it look like a clean conquest. But to make this a quicker finish to the campaign, let's just go ahead and take Muscovy's forts, release the state of Perm, and then I think it's time for one last war. Reason being, we have a Rurikovich on the throne, but we have no heir. And if we die today, we lose the Rurikovich dynasty. If we lose the Rurikovich dynasty, we cannot get the achievement. Therefore, it's time for a truce break. So we immediately delete those two forts and go right back to war with Muscovy. Stability? Who needs stability? Let's get an achievement. And there we go. July 24th, 1514, Muscovy falls to the hands of Tver. We even have enough war score to make him revoke a whole ton of cores all over the place. Those aren't your cores, those are our cores. Get out of here, Muscovy. And the achievement Kinslayer pops up on July 26, 1514. Fantastic. Now, as I said, this is not my first attempt at this. We did do a trial run, which went flawlessly. But as soon as we turned on Iron Man, it took us like 5 attempts to actually get it to work. Maybe it was 6 or 7. I don't know. It was a lot of attempts to make it work. All we needed was that good start, but that good start was pretty elusive. So don't be surprised if you're going for what looks like a quick achievement. Like this is a very quick one, right? Took 60 years on the 70 years on the dot to do it. If you're going for a quick achievement, you might as well just restart until you get a really good starting situation. Don't just sit around and dawdle and waste your time, because you're not going to have a great time if you're only in it for the achievement. Like, I'm not looking to continue this campaign. I just want the achievement, so I might as well just restart and get a good start. We wound up 3rd largest army in the world behind the Ottomans and France. That's pretty good for a nation that starts as a 1-province minor. We have more troops than Poland. Hey, hey. Treasury's looking quite nice at 460 ducats. Income is actually quite good as well because of all of the trade nodes that we control. We gave them all to the burghers, of course. Because of all the trade nodes, we're making 27 ducats a month. Not bad. We have quite a good power projection, 2nd in the world for power projection. Don't quite have much score, but we are in 8th place. What bothers me is we're still behind a single province minor, Bremen. He started a trade league, and because of his trade league, he has more points than we do, and he's still a 1-province minor. Can you believe that? Crazy. And we can form the Western nation if we reach Admin Tech 10. We're sitting on Admin Tech 8 at the moment. But, who needs to form Russia? Why bother? We can also Westernize if we take Danzig. You know what's blowing my mind? It's 1514. Poland has conquered the Teutonic Order, but he left Danzig alone. So we could once we have annexed Livonian Order, we could probably peacefully vassalize Danzig and then Westernize, because there won't be any separatism. That's going to be amazing. Can you believe that's actually faster than conquering it too? If you conquer it, you have to wait 30 years for the separatism to go away, and then you can click the Westernize button. But if you peacefully vassalize and then just wait 10 years, and then you click an X, and then all of a sudden you're Western. I mean, that's crazy. Taking a look at the pie charts, we've converted almost everything to Orthodox. Our biggest cultures are Novgorod and Muscovy. Our biggest production are grain, wool, iron, and naval supplies. Oh, and fur. Lots of fur. Let's watch the timeline. Nice. I love this new timeline feature. Look at that. There's our first war. There's Muscovy's peace deal with Novgorod. Our second war, where we took Muscovy and his main state of Moscow. Our third war, where we took provinces from Livonian Order and vassalized him. Our fourth war, where we vassalized Novgorod and then immediately went to war with Muscovy to take even more land. Whoa, look how big our name is now. Nice. And then the fourth war, where we took the rest of Pskov, Belo Ozero, and Rzev. And the fifth war, where we took the state of Suzdal and gave all of Novgorod his cores back. I believe right now we're annexing Novgorod. That takes a few years. Yep, there goes Novgorod. Goodbye, Novgorod. And then Sweden gets independent, and then we finish up Muscovy. Fantastic. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at the Kinslayer achievement playing as Tver. Now, you can play as Yaroslavl for an extra challenge because he's a vassal, or you can play as Odoyev, the new nation, or you can play as Ryazan. Ryazan's actually got a really good start as well. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.